Welcome, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to Panelists' favorite show. Here at Beyond Your Radio tonight, we thought we'd get to know a bit more about our panelists through this particular one. And this one is 5 songs you can't live without, or cannot, if you don't like the apostrophe. No, not desert island picks, but maybe. A song you would miss if it was never played again. A song that comes on the radio and you're instantly transported to that place. It does not need to be a happy place. I'm sure for most of you it is. I won't hold it against you if it is anyway. There's a story in there, and it's probably a little more revealing of our panelists, which I'm hoping. And considering our next show is favorite Christmas songs, that'll be somewhat revealing as well. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. Have you subscribed to the channel? If so, thank you very much. Still deciding? Hopefully after this show, you won't be able to YouTube without us. Please remember to like and comment. Of course, we're putting Everett in charge of keeping track of those that are responding.
Yeah.
So
From now on, I will be doing that.
So who are the people I can't live without? Well, some of them showed up tonight against their will, against their better judgment, without payment, or by mistake. But I can't live without them. But just in case, if you'd like to become a panelist on Beyond Your Radio, please write to beyondyourradio@gmail.com with your music-loving resume, and a small check will also help as well. On the panel tonight, the man who can't live without season tickets to Cats, the Grateful Dude. The young man who can't live without professional pillow fighting, that's right, Alice Kuligowski. All right, just hang on a second. That was too funny for me.
Gotta give him
Believe me, I wanted to react that way after hearing the sentence.
And the young Hawaiian who most of the viewers can't live without. That's right. Thousands of requests are coming up and we just can't get people off. It's Everett. James?
Come and get me.
And the woman who can't live without and will never live without her love for NFL commentary, Susie Q.
Oh, I really got to hear this one now. There's a backstory there waiting to come out.
You're not gonna know. I'm not saying anything.
We need details.
As long as you hate Chris Collinsworth.
This show comes to us from the Grateful Dude, so let's kick it off with him.
Okay.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 has a very interesting backstory. And every time I hear it, I think of this particular person. She was my first sexual encounter.
No.
And yeah, you heard it right. So, and this goes way back.
Strong start.
Anyway,
Strong start.
The song is Gloria by them. And her name was Gloria.
Oh my God. We can stop the show right there. That's the best one of the night.
Yeah.
You're never gonna top that.
Be honest about it, baby. You know,
I'm never gonna hear that song the same ever again.
Yep. And that was about 50 some years ago.
Woo.
So and every time that song comes on, boom.
I
want to go home.
I was laughing too hard, but who did you say it was by?
Them.
Sweet. No, I'm sorry. That's the other. Them. THEM. Them.
See, I'm thinking of the Doors version.
Yes,
I'm thinking of the Doors by the same title when I heard that. That's why I was laughing so hard.
It's a different song. And it's a different song, and it was very, very popular in the 60s. Very popular.
As a matter of fact, on that note, in my top 10, just outside in the 11th, is another song by them.
Who?
No, different band.
No, them.
Oh.
It's Baby Please Don't Go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's them?
Yeah. You know, they were definitely a 1 or 2 hit wonder, but they was very, very interesting. They remind me a lot of a little bit of CCR and a little bit of Eric Burden and the
Eric
Animals.
Burden and the Animals. Yeah.
Yep. So, but great band song, but that one has emotional connection to it. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. So I really can't say too much about that. Maybe there's more stories about the other ones, but that one was, hey, you never forget your first.
And on that note, I guess we'll go to Sue.
Okay. So
None of these songs better be about Mark.
no, they're not actually.
So apropos.
Mark's just
Sorry,
left.
Mark.
Beyond your
I think you
radio,
left
like
the-
and
I
subscribe.
think you left the room.
He's devastated.
I'm feeling very yellow.
Well,
Beyond
okay,
your
'cause
radio.
I didn't understand the assignment. So I had full albums in mind, so then I went back and I chose like just a song off the album. And so my first one is Madonna, 1983, Lucky Star. Just because it was, 83, we were bopping around, she was something brand new. And it was more than just the music, it was the lifestyle, it was the clothing, it was a contrast. She did the leather and the lace and the jelly bracelets, and she was edgy, and it just takes me right back. I can see all my friends and us doing videos of her, of us being her. So Lucky Star, it is not like the best song ever in the world, and it's probably not the best song by her. But it was definitely, it was the start of something. So Lucky Star.
It's good.
I'm just glad it
when you
wasn't
said
like a
that,
virgin. That would have been bad.
I was with
Right?
you. I was
That
like,
would
oh
have
my God,
been
we're gonna go
perfect
from
though.
Jeff
I
losing
would've-
his virginity.
I was waiting for all of us in unison on the screen to just start doing this.
Like a virgin.
Yeah, please don't
good
sing
choice.
that one.
Yeah,
Good
I've
choice.
had my little brother just start singing that one time, that song. My parents were like, please stop.
Yes.
Stop. 'Cause he was a lot younger and he didn't know, so he was just like singing.
Good
We're
song.
like, please stop.
If they only knew.
Yeah, right. A
Well,
rapscallion.
I was gonna go to Alex, but he's got a mouthful. I'll give it to Everett.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I am gonna have to go for my number 5. The AC/DC song that everybody knows, Back in Black.
Nice.
This song has like a very special place in my heart, which is weird because it's not like a sweet, happy song, right? But it was the first rock song that I would qualify as rock that I ever listened to, I ever knew. I remember we were sitting outside of our school. It was like science fair day or something. And we were going in, and me and my dad were just sitting on the car for a little bit, waiting for the rest of the family to arrive. And I remember being just really upset that all I had was flip-flops on. I don't know why, just was. And he played that song, or it came on the radio, and I was like, what was that? And that's kind of what started me off on the kind of music I like today. So was like 6 years ago now. So I mean, not forever ago, but it definitely kind of like was the gateway into like the very beginning starting point of where I am today as far as how I like my music. So
Cool.
Kinda.
I love it. It's when you're doing this list, you're kind of like going, you go, well, these are big songs usually. Yeah, they just are, right? Unless
how do I make
there's
this corny?
a somewhat interesting story that
Yeah.
takes it another level. But we're gonna do this again, I'm sure, unless we get canceled.
That's
Well,
very
that's right. I
possible.
wouldn't.
It's very possible the way this
I mean,
show
after this
started out.
video
It is.
comes out, you're
Um,
gonna be close.
that, like if you ask me tomorrow what my 5 are, right, next year, what maybe something, I can tell you this, there was a point today where I thought about my number 5 being a song that I just heard for the first time a couple of days ago.
Hmm.
That's how it can happen.
Yeah, really.
Alex.
So, my question for the panel: should I save my Christmas one for the Christmas show?
No,
Well, it's your
Okay.
story to tell.
So I cheated on this one. There's 3 different on my number 3s that they link up in the same time frame. So I had to put 2 songs in.
So
this-
you're taking a liberty as being the host almost that you're going to put 2 in 1.
Yes,
I'll allow it. It's good. It's okay.
because these are the 2 songs that they don't get played enough during the specific holiday that they associate with. But when I hear them, I absolutely crank the radio to a point in which my stereo in the car or wherever I am should not be on that volume or it's going to blow out.
Nice.
For
All right.
Halloween, that's Oingo Boingo's Weird Science.
Okay.
And
good
for
song.
and for Christmas, it's Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses.
I don't know that one.
Oh, you would know
What?
it if you heard it. The horn section in that song, best part of the entire song.
What's it
It's
called?
the most annoying lyrical ever. Christmas
One
Wrapping
more
by the
time.
Waitresses.
By the Waitresses.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if I can play it, I'm going to put it in here. Just because I'm intrigued because
Lyrically, it
I
is
really-
absolutely a terrible song, but the second the horns hit, it's just the most joyous mood you can possibly be in.
Okay.
oh, okay.
And Weird
Joyful
Science does the
and
same
triumphant.
thing for me for all the instrumental parts to it. It's not your most basic holiday music that you hear. It's just it turns it up a notch and it's still a song. So, or it's
Okay.
still
Believe it or not,
a
I
true
know the
song.
band. I know
You
the
do?
band.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Did
Do
you
they
date a
play,
waitress?
They play this on the radio?
I don't think I've heard Weird Science on the radio.
No, the
Christmas rap,
waitresses.
Christmas
Yeah.
Wrapping has definitely been on the radio.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I've heard on the radio.
Okay.
It's just
All
very
right.
rarely is it played.
See, with Oingo Boingo, I would have gone with "It's a Dead Man's Party." That would have been my.
That's on the playlist. But
Oh, okay.
Weird Science is the favorite.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so my number 5. I can't live without Bach. Sorry, it's the Goldberg variation. It's. I don't know where any music would be without Bach, and it's incredible to listen to. It's just monumental. And I didn't discover Bach until later, which is probably what happens with most, I would imagine. But yeah, that's my number 5. I know it seems boring to some or doesn't seem correct, but I when I looked at this, I went, I couldn't have lived without it. I would have missed out on so much. And so there's how I took my number 5.
Bach is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
We're talking about Bach, like the composer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What,
Okay, gotcha.
what other Bach would there be?
I don't know. There's a
Bach.
lot of bands out there that you guys bring up, and I'm like,
Oh no, not Sebastian Bach, not Bachman Turner Overdrive, not
Yeah.
New.
Turner Overdrive. There you go.
well, all right, that's a connection.
All right, I'm
Okay.
taking liberties. Taking liberties. All right, back to you, Grateful Dude.
Okay. So
Play
my
us more
next
sex
one is
stories.
it's a popular song, and anytime it's played, everybody dances. I mean, it's a wild song. There's a great storyline. How I found it, like I found most songs in genres, is through women I dated. Just like what's going to say, I'm one of those kind of people. But
You were a
anyway,
ladies man. You were a ladies man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the song is Barroom Blitz. The
Mm.
band is Sweet.
Mhm.
It has a very interesting story, and one of the reasons I found out about this whole thing was in '73 in January, they were playing at the, I believe it was the Kimmel Rock Hall in Scotland, and they basically, the band ahead of them was punk, and they weren't punk, and so they were, as in England and Great Britain, they call it bottling. where they throw things at you until you run off stage.
Yeah.
And they were bottled, and basically this song was written from that bottling.
Oh.
So, but I love this song so much. I can't find anything wrong about it. Every time I hear it, man, it makes me so happy, so jazzed. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a good song. Have
I'm
you
all
heard it
about
ever?
this. I'm all about this. This is great.
Well,
Alex loves throwing
Ballroom
stuff at
Blitz,
people.
obviously, yes. Yeah. That sweet. I remember the couple of times I heard it, I'm like, wow, I would have thought it was from the, 80s era. You know what I mean? But,
Mhm.
Oh no, they were 20 years before their time,
yeah.
almost.
Yeah. Well, then,
Yeah.
obviously, I show the picture. When everybody sees this picture, they're going to be like, what? Sweet. Is that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I can see
believe
that
the
as being a question
original
on
name.
Jeopardy where they utilize or what you call a car, sweet.
Believe their real name, and it was Sweetland, and it was shortened to
Yeah.
Sweet. But no, fabulous song. I love it. Heard it twice this week. Somebody played it on the radio, and I listened to it on my own. So okay, take
So
it
you
away,
had
Mark.
obviously if you want to check out, and this is probably a show coming soon to Panelist Favorites, people who have covered this song, Ballroom Blitz. You got The Damned, Nuclear Assault, Crocus, Tia Carrera, and The Struts, among others, probably.
All I say, I just know the one from Wayne's World.
That would be Tia
Same
Carrera,
thing.
right?
Okay.
Same
I know.
thing.
Yeah.
The Wayne's
That's
World
what I
made
know.
that. Well, it basically barely made the charts when it first came out. And then when Wayne's World came out, it had a appearance on the chart and went to
Oh.
number one.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
have to hear the Struts version because I like the Struts. They give the same vibe of that European sound too.
Yeah,
But
I'm going to listen to them not because now I'm curious, but I don't know that version's so damn perfect. I don't really can see it being better, but we'll see.
why does my brain tell me it was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
No, everybody thinks it was not.
Okay. Okay.
The Mandela effect.
I was
That's-
just wondering what that phrase was. I couldn't remember it.
I think it's Mandela effect.
Just like I remember Sinbad as a genie in a movie Kazam that didn't exist.
That Sinbad was the explorer from Arabian Nights.
He was
Yes.
a genie in something, wasn't he?
Yes.
It's a Mandela effect.
I don't know what this has to do with Nelson Mandela, but okay.
Okay, Mark.
It's because
let's go.
everybody thinks he died in jail in like the 90s, but he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So let's see, we go to Sue next.
Okay, well, my next one is a song from Never Enough, Miss Etheridge, 92. I think this was the first album I heard from her. I'm not quite sure actually, but I went with the song "The Letting Go." I mean it's a ballad, it's a sad song. The whole album is incredible. It's just, and I know I've talked about it before, I think, but anyway, I normally wouldn't probably pick a ballad because, it's sad and everything, but she just puts it all out there on this album. She did for a couple albums. I felt like you were seeing like the real Melissa and not commercialized Melissa. Not to put her down at all, but 'cause she's
Right.
still amazing. But you can feel her emotion. If they're just perfect songs, and that one just stands out to me. So
Yeah. As a presenter of music, she is the female version of Bruce Springsteen. There's just no question.
I don't know. I think
she's at the helm.
she's her own person. I don't think she's a female. She's incredible. Doesn't get enough kudos, I don't think.
That's
And that was
yeah.
92. I can't remember. I mean, again, I always try to go for things that I think people weren't listening to just because I like to hear something different. And She got me to pick up a guitar, so
Yeah.
for a little while. Didn't last.
Everett.
All right. For my next one, I am gonna go with a song that, like Mark was talking about, I only learned about a couple months ago. And this was the song Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon. I've
Whoa.
recently
Oh
kind of
my
fallen in love
God.
with it.
Good song.
I heard
Damn.
it like I was sitting there playing like Minecraft or something, just like, just zoning out after a long day. And I heard that and I once again went, whoa, it was funny. It makes you laugh. Like, like he's got, and the storytelling is good. It says a lot without saying much,
Mhm.
and the music is actually really good. Like, at least to me, it is. If it's kind of subjective, but
You are correct. He puts together great stuff.
yeah.
He
And it
almost
was
he almost made my list tonight.
Yeah. What song?
Werewolves of London, right?
Best lyrics that you could possibly come up with. Maybe the best opening line of a song of all time.
Ooh.
That one's pretty funny. And
Yeah.
it was like I love Weird Al. He's just kind of funny, but it's more of he's more funny lyrics wise. He's funny because he's able to make up these like funny lyrics.
Mhm.
He's not a great musician or anything, to
I
me
think
at least.
and that's part of the shtick.
And that's part of the stick. I'm not pulling it against him. I don't listen to Weird Al going, I am hoping for some Jimmy Page guitar solo on a synthesizer or accordion.
I would
You
love
know?
Weird Al to just make one serious song and just blow us all away.
Yeah, that would be funny. I'll give him
He
that.
probably could.
I mean, honestly, I think he's good, but like
Yeah.
I believe it. But like I listened to this song and it kind of, I like funny things. I'd like to consider myself a funny guy. If I don't think that's always the case, but this kind of like was like one of those things where I was like, that is really fun because it was funny, but also good musically. And it kind of like pulled that balance perfectly to where I can't even really describe where it's like to me Weird Al mixed with like Queen.
Huh.
It's funny, but and Queen's probably not the right band, but it's funny. It's like witty. It's got character to it, but it's also just good music. So I'm gonna put that one as my number 4.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of I love the character idea of what that is and how he pulls it off. He's done it multiple times. I didn't even know anything about a song called The Mutineer till I heard another person sing it. And that's not that's more of a ballad type of thing, but it's just he can do anything. He's writing wise. It's a shame that he's no longer with us.
Yeah. And like everybody only knows the one song. I'm like, there are so many just
Yeah.
funny ones.
Well, you brought up one of his that album, so that's a perfect example of wow, an album that sort of just doesn't get enough love. No question.
That is my
Alex.
number.
So this one, they both go to, if you close your eyes and you envision the scenario, windows down, 80 degrees outside, you turn the radio on. I love how both the Kuligowskis have their eyes shut and everyone else is wide open.
Well, I do. I'm a Kuligowski. I do what I'm told.
And 2 songs come on back to back that could not possibly put you in a better driving mood. Steal My Sunshine by Len and How Bizarre by OMC.
Okay.
I think those 2 songs, if they come on in the car at the most random times, and I'm talking not when my playlist is on and I have it mixed in there somewhere, they come on when just the radio's on, everyone has a moment of like, oh my God, yep. And turn it up. And I know for Steal My Sunshine, there's that, I don't know what instrument it is. It makes that hollow noise, but everyone can just do this in the car to it every time it comes on in tune. So those 2, that's why I cheated on that one, because they both remind me of just a good summer driving in the car, instant good mood song.
Cool. So my number 4 is strictly my own, because it has to do with a certain moment of my life where this song was played over and over and over again. So I played hockey for a long, long time. I happened to be on a ridiculously good travel team one year where we won every single game. We had goalies that had 8 shutouts apiece. We were the dominating team in the entire region. And it just so happened that the Cars had an album called Heartbeat City. And on that album, they had a song called Hello Again. And the lyrical line is, hello, hello again.
Mhm.
And we played that over the loudspeakers just to let every team know, here we are again. Going to be the same conclusion. You're going to lose.
You know what
And it
happened
just-
last time.
It's going to happen again. And it just became a song that stuck many, many, many times over and over again. And I had that record. Don't get me wrong. Drive was Who's Gonna Drive You Home Tonight was probably the number one single of all time in that era. But that Hello Again was my song. And I couldn't live without that.
I almost wanted to bash you for having the Cars as a hockey tune-up, but then I remembered Lenny Kravitz was in my Walkman for a span of 2 years to get me ready for hockey, so I don't think I had any room to judge.
I mean, there were other things in there, but you got to remember the era. We didn't have Rage Against the Machine, and I think my group had no idea who Black Sabbath was at that time. So
Who
we
was
were
in
kind
charge
of
of
in
the
that.
music, Mark? Who was playing that?
Say again.
Who was playing that?
One of the goalies, he would do that, and Ronnie Tangway, who was one of the defensemen, he actually became a referee.
Mhm.
So we had. I didn't bring it though. I don't think. Maybe I did. I may have brought it once I had the cassette, but yeah. Back to you, Grateful Dude.
Okay, well, my next song was basically became a favorite of mine because of a bad experience I had with this song. I was in Hollywood with a girl I had been dating about 4 years, and we were at a Meatloaf concert. And we were having a little bit of argument, but during this particular song, she walked out on me and I never saw her again. The song is 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
She had to have planned that. Like, I'm sorry, but that is like too. That is
Tell me you
planned.
fabricated that story in some fashion.
I doubt it.
There's
doubt
no
it.
fabrication at all. None. Zip.
Just hang on, because he's got a Radiohead story coming up too.
Oh my
soon.
god.
No,
is
that
For
is-
the dead
unbelievable.
story.
That is it. That's how I got this song.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean,
Oh my god.
I
This is why
promise
this is
I'd
your
mention her
episode.
name, but she's probably out there somewhere. So
Watching right now.
If you're out there, like, subscribe, please comment. We want the story.
we swear Jeff's
Fantastic.
stories will get less. I don't know. I'm not going to promise anything.
Meatloaf.
I think the only
Fantastic.
part is that's slightly fabricated is I never saw her again. We never really saw her again. She had all her stuff at my house, so she had to come by and get it, but we literally didn't talk.
That was
It had nothing to do with the band. It had nothing to do with the song. It just happened to be on when she
At that
said,
moment.
fuck you.
No, she
Fuck
just
you
walked
and-
out.
That might have
But-
been the greatest moment of Meatloaf's career if he ever heard that story.
I love Meatloaf. He's great.
Absolutely fantastic singer songwriter. Well, he didn't write most of the songs, right?
He
was-
didn't.
No,
do
it was
much.
Jim
He
Steinman.
didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
do much right. And he had, and it's funny if you were gonna ask me my favorite song of Meatloaf, that wouldn't be it. This
Right.
one because it did. And yes, I can see why it sounds fabricated, but in this case, not a chance. So
Cool. That's so cool. Fantastic. Sue, try to follow that up. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but go ahead.
I can't follow Jeff up at all. Like, okay.
Do you have a breakup story?
This
Well, we
one
could do
time
that
at band
tonight.
camp,
Is there a song that embarrasses Mark that we can all know?
Ooh. Do tell.
Let me think
Uh,
about that one. I'll think
Sounds
about
like a
that.
panelist favorite show.
It's just all of us sitting around as Sue just recounts all of Mark's embarrassing songs.
I mean, we could definitely do that, but I need time
I'll
to
just-
prepare.
We're all just sitting
I-
there eating our popcorn, just
I
The
guess
roast
I'll
of-
allow it.
The roast
Sue's
of Mark
gonna do a
Kuligowski
60
episode.
Yeah, Sue's gonna do a 60-minute special. So
ooh.
Why Mark is the way he is.
Ooh.
Mark uncovered.
Well, I think I've got that covered in my next 3.
yeah.
Okay, well, this
Mark
one
as you've never seen him before.
prepare myself.
Okay, Sue.
I've talked about this one before, so but again, I was going by albums and also so it is the Philosopher King's Charm, 1994. And one of the biggest reasons I think that I liked it before I went, but it reminds me a lot about Hawaii because I would, bring my little Walkman headset and pop that baby in the disc player and listen by the water. So, it's just a great, I love the Philosopher Kings. I love their sound and it's just a great song. So, sitting by the ocean. Mark wasn't there with me. I went for walks by myself.
Or Mark.
It's not like I was asleep somewhere. I was writing my
You were
novel, I
probably
think.
working, yeah, by the pool.
Mark.
Yeah. I don't know. There's hey.
When
Anyway,
that writing bug
I-
hits.
this is
No,
yeah.
but they were very peaceful moments. So, it's all good.
Everett.
Okay, for my number 3, I'm gonna put in my Jimmy Buffett song. There might be others, but I'm gonna just try to keep one. And for my Jimmy Buffett song, there was like 4 that I was just debating back and forth and back and forth. And I finally decided that I was gonna go with the song from the Buffet Hotel album, Surfing in a Hurricane.
Mm.
All right.
And it's well, we listened to it while there was a hurricane going on. So
Okay.
I mean, that was
Perfect.
it's a song that is like Jimmy Buffett writing a full-on like surf song, like the surf riffs, and it is just such a fun song to listen to. Like I love it. It's one of my favorite of his songs out there. And I hadn't heard it in years. Like I'd heard it before, but I hadn't really like heard it in a while. And then a couple years ago, while we were out here in Hawaii, there was a hurricane that hit. The hurricane did nothing.
Mhm.
Not anything. And we were like all prepared. We were like ready. And we had like taken down all the tarps that are like roofs for our like outdoor tents, like our carport. And we were like ready. And I even remember Jeff, he was like, he had bought like wood to board up the windows. And this hurricane came and did nothing.
Mhm.
It
It
missed
happens
us.
happens many times a year.
I know. That was our first hurricane though. And I was like, this is it. We're all gonna die. The worst thing that happened was afterwards, the wind stopped because it left this vacuum. So it was just hot and muggy for like a week. It was miserable. But it's just one of those where I think about it and I hear the song and I can like think exactly where I was standing and almost exactly what I was doing when I first heard it.
Right.
So that's
Cool.
what I'm gonna put as my number 3.
Nice. Well, I knew there'd be a Buffett. I don't. Maybe there'll be more than one. Who knows?
Honestly, I could put Buffett on this whole album. That was like the
Hard.
only thing I listened to for like solid 10 years. And I'm 16,
Alex.
so
I think I picked this song because it's the first goofy song that made me react to the sound of it just as much as the name of it. And for that matter, the band. Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Great
okay.
song. Really great song.
I I can't describe the fact that this song, for the musical talent that it actually has, to be as seriously good as it is, but just to be named something that makes it sound so unappealing to want to listen to. But the second it comes on, you just go, I forget how good this is. And I think that was kudos to my dad for showing me that one, because I think he knew as a kid, to get me to listen to it, he needed me to laugh at the name of it first. And the band again, for that matter, having the triple rhyme in there. So Hocus Pocus by Focus. I if that song comes through my shuffle, it's that one stays on for the full 6 or 7 or however many long minutes it is.
Wow.
And because who else knows another song they like yodeling in? So
What?
True.
Good.
Not a
point.
whole lot of yodel unless you're with Jewel.
and that's if Who Will Save Your Soul. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh yeah, me. So I guess it wouldn't be a show. I wouldn't be talking if there wasn't a Canadian on there. So New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip. And of course, if it's the live version, that'd be fantastic. But you know what? It's still that song. The first time I heard it, it was that wow moment of what is this and what is this doing? Who is this? I do sing it karaoke. I'll do it at a wedding. I'll do it at church. I don't care. What do you want me to do? When do you want me to sing it? So
Right now.
right now, are you ready? I had
No.
a
Yes.
job before all this. No? Okay.
No, we want to hear it.
Wait, you had a job before all this?
Yes. So yeah, that's New Orleans is Sinking by the Tragically Hip. That's my third. Back to the Grateful Dude.
Okay, well, my next song really doesn't have a story behind it. No tragic, no happy, just stuff. This just happens to be a song that may be my favorite of all time. It's hard to say, but because I have a lot in that category. But this song is my happy song. If I'm sad, if I'm depressed, if I'm bored, this song immediately goes on. Everybody knows it. It's one of the most famous songs around. It's Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. You know, as I said, there's really no backstory to this one. It's just, I love this fucking song. When I'm sitting in there cooking and I turn on Alexa, half the time I ask for this song. So
Yeah.
don't know why. It's an impeccably great song.
Mark, you should take every single thing that all of us have said this episode, put this in a playlist for December 31st.
Yeah.
That's
could do that.
interesting. That's very, very good idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I that's a fantastic idea. I will take that to heart. I do have a couple hundred blank CDs sitting over there. But then again, everyone's gonna go, I don't have a CD player.
Hey,
okay, I
Spotify,
can put it on,
Spotify playlist it.
yeah, exactly.
I
I
can
don't
put
have
it on
Spotify.
my Apple playlist.
Yeah,
So no problem.
it's a good idea.
Done. Okay.
Over to you, Sue, for your number 2.
All right. So, and again, I'm listening to some of these and I would, but I'm going to give credit tonight because I've been skipping over these guys for a while. I'm just going to go with, All My Life, Foo Fighters. No particular reason, just, I mean, I love all their songs and I picked this one because it's awesome. I love Dave Grohl and I love the song and I could listen to it all the time. And this was, what was this? I should have done this the other way because I'm picking them again so this was 2002. And it's just kind of cool to see their evolution too and different things they were trying and their personalities coming through and, um, you know, but I kind of stepped away from it a little bit just after everything. It was just so sad and, wrapping your head around what's going to happen next. And so
Do you like the new album?
I do, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I like their sound. Mhm. The
Cool.
theme, so, yeah. Sorry, I don't
Everett.
have anything prolific.
Okay. For this one, I am gonna have to go to my favorite, only best rock concert I have ever been to. The Eagles and Jimmy Buffett. Just
Mhm.
we got there and I was a Jimmy Buffett kid. I was like, I want to see Jimmy Buffett. I was so happy. It was like the best day of my life. And then the Eagles came on stage. And I like the Eagles, don't get me wrong. I've come to like them more afterwards, which is kind of sad. Feels
How
like
it
a missed
goes.
opportunity, but you know what? It's fine. And they opened up with the song Seven Bridges Road. It just started with, I think it was Joe Walsh standing in the middle, and the spotlight came down and shone right on him. And then like slowly, not slowly, but then all the rest of the lights came on, revealing the rest of the band, and they did the "There Are Stars" and just did that. And the crowd went knuckin' futz, okay?
Yeah.
It was one of those things that was just wild. Because I mean, it's the Eagles, and it was actually great because we all had figured that, Don Henley was the singer, as he had been for most of the time, the drummer. And so Joe Walsh actually ended up singing most of the concert, we think, pretty sure. So we were all a little confused. We were like, is that Don Henley up there or Joe Walsh? Did Don Henley suddenly learn to play the guitar?
Mhm.
This is weird. Where's Joe Walsh? It took us we didn't realize till after the concert that it was Joe Walsh the whole time. But that was just that is like, I could do this list all over again, just comprised of songs from that 2-week trip with our grandparents to Denver. It was an event that I will never forget. It was so much fun.
That is odd because I mean not today it isn't, because Henley's not doing some of the songs, and the country guitarist
Glenn Fry.
Vince Gill is doing some of those, but
Oh, really?
on radio, um, Henley was definitely the more forward vocalist for that band, of the songs that were made radio friendly big time, right? I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong, Joe Walsh, everybody knows, but yeah, it's when we went and saw them, and that was a few years back. Fry was gone, and his son
Yeah.
was singing his song. So
It was a great
Deacon.
it's just the harmony of that band is amazing, and
Yeah.
I would say for someone like you who likes Buffett and has the eclectic tastes that you have, that's a great match, and I would expect something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe
like
not
I
that
said,
song, but
that is not my favorite Eagles song. I had
right. But I mean,
another
I'm just
Eagles
like
song.
that, yeah. But you can't live without it, because that's the memory, right? It's that the
Yeah.
power of sound leading you to a moment.
I'm gonna include a caveat, an addition, an asterisk to that one, which also has the song "Heartache Tonight,"
Mhm.
Yeah.
which was a song that I hadn't heard before this road trip, and my grandparents played it because I was riding with them for like 2 or 3 hours through, like, just going around.
It's a very fitting road trip song.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just it was great. I loved that song. It was just the best trip.
Well,
I love that you
So-
love that. That's
Yeah.
most people. My best trip was to this, and it's like amusement park or some bull malarkey. Not that.
I've been to Legoland twice. That's the amount of
I don't know
amusement
if I
parks I've
like
been
better
to.
that Everett said "knuckin' futz," or that
Yes.
you just came up with bull malarkey.
I didn't come up with bull malarkey. That's been a long time.
Yeah, that
and it's
did
cockamamie,
exist.
I understand, but
And
you gotta
Knuckin'
work
Both
on
are
that.
firsts from you two.
Okay, well,
That I've
your
heard.
generation should start embracing some of our lingo.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
you
now,
whippersnapper.
Listen, there's
Yeah,
a lot that I would like to
whippersnappers.
say this generation needs to do, so I'm with you.
Taxes. I don't know. I'm not old enough. Yeah.
We barely do those as
Brr.
it is.
Yay.
Alex.
Well, now that I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't know Don Henley was in the Eagles, I'm
You
now
son.
30 years old the day that I learned that because I knew Don Henley for his solo stuff and didn't know he was with the Eagles.
Again, try to like and subscribe, even though panelists don't know who Don Henley's band.
If we get 500 views, 50 likes on this video, we'll tar and feather Alex.
I could tell you,
Yeah.
I could tell you the other members of the Eagles. I couldn't tell you Don Henley was in it. I did
Now
not
that
know
I
that.
couldn't do. I couldn't tell you the other members of the Eagles. I can tell you most of them. The one guy that sings in the high pitch, no idea what his name is, and I don't care.
How did I never?
Somebody's got to
Okay.
let go of that man's balls so he can stop singing that high. I can't do it.
Well, now that I
This is-
know that I'm a bigger fan of Don Henley's solo career, apparently. Let me
Like
take
I said,
my
50
I'm gonna
likes
go-
and we'll tar and feather Alex.
I'm gonna take my
We can do
dirt.
it, guys.
I'm gonna take my dirty laundry and get out of here.
You know, the funny
What
part
else?
is, Alex, in my list of before in the top 10 is I Will Not Go Quietly.
Well, I should probably go, and I don't care if it's quietly or loudly. Song number, what am I on? 3, 4?
Two.
No, 4. Well, whatever,
Two.
same thing. I didn't order mine. I didn't
Oh,
have
you
a,
didn't order. Okay.
mine are just spread
You
out.
should talk. Maybe you should talk to a waitress.
Eh,
So she's the only female here. That's all I had to go with.
That's
Let's-
gender
let it-
bias.
We are definitely tarring and feathering you.
He
Yes.
said waitress, not waiter.
Yes. Like
like and subscribe.
we're gonna tar him.
Just for that, I'm
Right.
the waiter for Jeff's entire meal for December 31st.
Absolutely
so.
not.
I said waiter. I didn't say chef. We all want to walk out of there
I
alive.
absolutely not. Not touching my plate. You might drop them.
Might eat what's there.
My hands aren't that bad. Well, the whole point's to eat what's there. Anyways, Las Vegas, the city I've been to 3 times, and every single time I've had this song queued up as the plane lands. And it goes back to, excuse my little pause here, this DVD right here, my favorite concert DVD. The Killers live at Royal Albert Hall. He does a nice little monologue in this about this song. And being that the Killers are from Vegas, Sam's Town, the
Sam's Town.
song from the titled album of the such. So my number 4 through 2, whatever you want to call it,
That's
is
2 so
Sam's
we don't
Town
get
from the
confused.
Killers. Sam's Town from the Killers reminds me every time that I've ever gone to Vegas, and really anytime I ever thought about Buffalo when I was away from home, because part of that monologue is he hoped that song reminded you of your own Sam's Town. And so for the 4 years that I lived away from Western New York, that song was always a reminder of home.
Aw.
Cool. My number 2, I saw this band open for REM. I knew of a song that was on the radio, and I thought it was pretty good. Then they came out with a second album that had a lot more going on.
Nirvana.
Then we booked to see Alanis Morissette, and the opening band was Radiohead again.
Wow.
And they came out with this song, Paranoid Android. And it was like something had blossomed into the unknown. That song is everything that I listen to music for it to be progressing to something different than what they were, to experience new sounds. Paranoid Android is Radiohead's Meatloaf song, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It is a song that carries and moves, and while it's not having this tete-a-tete with, in dialogue, it's doing it in music. It has crescendos, and it's music that's never really been in the forefront of radio. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing it being played on radio. It's not a short song. It's progressive. It's electronic. The things that they were doing, and here I am at an Alanis Morissette concert, looking around at all these mix of people who are about to do the greatest 32,000 people sing along that you'll probably ever experience. And then here's Radiohead, who's basically at that point 1 year beyond being one of the greatest bands in the world. And they were opening for Alanis Morissette. And I don't think people gathered the acoustic and electric that was going on at the time and just how good the band is and was at that time. So, come on, Paranoid Android by Radiohead, number 2. Back to the Grateful Dude.
Okay, this one has a nice story behind it. For a couple of years, I had a restaurant in Bakersfield, California. And there was a place who's still there. I don't know how many centuries this place has been here, but it's called Buck Owens Crystal Palace. It is one of the premier places where country music lives. Anybody who's anybody's played there. One night in 1999, I was there because Willie Nelson was supposed to be put on a concert, and I love Willie. So I was able to get pretty good seats, and I was waiting there. Willie comes out, and he goes, well, before I start this, one of my best friends is backstage, and we thought we'd do a song together. And I had never seen him before. I've heard him many times, but Merle Haggard came out. And the song they did was it touched me so much that it's become one of my favorite songs I've ever heard. The song is Poncho and Lefty.
Huh?
And just an absolute great, one of the best, especially the recorded version, which is much more cleaner than the live version. But it's just an absolutely great song. But and I love it to this day. I still listen to it on a regular basis. It's a sad song that makes you happy.
Merle's
So-
awesome. Merle
Merle.
is awesome.
Merle's way more than awesome.
You just happened to be backstage.
Just
Yeah.
chilling
Love
out
it.
backstage, like, hey,
You
Willie.
know,
You know,
With
hey,
Merle.
just hanging
Well,
out.
Willie and Merle were best of friends.
Yeah,
Best of
yep.
friends. So when Merle died, Willie canceled all his concerts for 30 days because he just needed to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, well, that's my list. And
Nice.
Mark, I gotta go. I got things I gotta run. So, to all my fans out there, write and send money. Checks are okay. And
All right.
I will talk to you guys all soon. Later.
Later.
Adieu,
Hasta la
chef.
vista.
Sue, what's your number one song you can't live without?
Okay. Well, this one time I was hanging out backstage with Snoop Dogg and Barbara
Hold on,
Streisand.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
Whoa,
And,
hold on.
and,
whoa,
and, a,
whoa,
and, a,
whoa,
and a
whoa,
couple
whoa,
of my
whoa.
a couple of my good friends.
What?
Hold
Yeah.
up a minute, hold up. We need
No,
some
I
clarification.
don't have any good stories. Like
I
Jeff's
knew
like,
you
"Go
just said
ahead."
hung out backstage with Snoop Dogg. Come on, we need details.
Okay, but I really did. Sorry. My number one is just Everlong by the Foo Fighters.
That's a good one.
I was really hoping for 1 second that we knew you were cooler than Mark, but we really wanted to hear a story that proved on top of all of it that you were cooler than Mark.
No. Well, I
Yeah,
could
Sue just
do that.
casually chilling
I
with
screwed
Snoop.
up the entire assignment though, so you guys
I
are
was
never
this-
gonna know.
I was this close to going, what has Sue been keeping from us for a long time?
Yes, that she's friends with Snoop Dogg. That's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Didn't you know he comes over? They play cards. They smoke
She
weed.
convinced
I
him
don't-
to stop smoking pot.
Oh,
Yeah.
they talk about not smoking pot instead of smoking pot. There we go.
Right? Yeah.
What I
yeah.
meant.
She
That's what I
said
meant to say.
that it just stop. You come into my house, it smells bad. I can't
Mhm.
go.
There's a reason it's called skunk weed.
Yeah. Yep, he listens to everything I tell him. He's a good guy, but
Everlong
Wow.
is,
Snoopy.
I can
Turns out
understand.
Everlong is one of Snoop Dogg's favorite songs.
sure
Absolutely.
is. Sure is.
He's in the front row with the lighter.
You knew he
They
had
don't
one.
do lighters anymore. Well, yeah, that's true. They allow
he's got
Snoop Dogg to do
He's
a
got
lighter.
a torch.
Yeah.
He's not sitting there with a matchbook.
Nah, he's got a little propane torch.
See, that would be me. I'd be the guy with the matchbook.
So, but okay, I just want to put out there, because Alex is doing all these fun summer songs with the windows down. If I had to choose one that I couldn't live without, it would be "Grooves in the Heart" by who was it? You like?
Yes.
Does anybody even do you know that song? Somebody must know.
What song? Wait, what? Say it again?
"Grooves in the
Grooves
Heart."
in the heart.
Yeah, no. I'm so.
Oh, I thought you said "Closer to the Heart" by Rush.
No.
for a
Oh,
second.
Groove is in the
Oh,
heart.
well, I like that one too, but
Yeah.
"Grooves in the Heart." Yeah, that's another one that you just crank up. The windows
That's
go down
right.
whether it's 80 degrees or 20 degrees. So
The windows don't go down because it ruins my hair. Can't do it.
okay, but next show we all need to do stories. Do Jeff stories.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, come on.
we just need Jeff to do stories just for our reactions.
I
Jeff's
can't-
music
wow.
story time.
Well, I could do it. You could do it too, Sue. You could.
I'm too young. I don't have any good stories like that.
Everett, you
You
won't be
do.
invited.
You just gave a
Um,
bunch of them.
Yeah, that
We love
too.
your stories.
You,
Mine are
you
just
have
always
more
wrong.
stories than you know, right? You just need to reconnect with like,
Right.
oh.
Mine
I
are
just
just
need to
always wrong.
embellish them. I just need to embellish them so the one time I got called down to the principal's office turns into a 3-week long saga into how I fought the man. That's
There you
That's
go.
right. That's right. Right.
and I never got called to the principal's office. I was a goody two shoes, but that's okay.
It's all right. So you know what? My daughter one time tried to get to my parents to find out the bad stuff I'd done, right? And
Yeah.
literally, there's not any. Okay. So she called me a goody goody like Jesus.
Ah, that's great.
True story.
And is that
No
what?
song going around with that, but we're gonna write one. Everett,
was-
what's your number one?
That's great. No, that just means that you were really good at keeping them secret so your parents never knew. That's what I'm getting there.
Or Mark's just really good at turning water into wine.
Yeah. Mark is Jesus.
Anyways,
Anyway, I am gonna pick the song My Sharona by the Neck.
I should have had this on my list. I'm in.
Good one.
This one's got kind of a funny thing behind it. Have you ever had that where you like have never heard of something and then you learn about it and then it just comes up casually the same day?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
That was
Mhm.
I was watching a video. It was like, and just to give you a hint of what I click on, top 20 Weird Al parodies.
Mhm,
The
mhm,
song
mhm.
My Bologna, which
Yeah.
I had, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a song. Oh, that's kind of a cool song. And we were down at my grandparents' house. And so I think we're going to like a bird sanctuary. It's like middle of winter, but like winter in Utah. It's like fall and it's like 12 degrees outside, which I mean, it's not New York, but
I don't know.
worse
It's pretty
than-
close. We're on the same
Yeah.
parallel.
Oh, yeah.
It's worse than Hawaii. I'll
Cold.
say that. Which is, and they play this song. I hadn't said anything. I hadn't mentioned anything. It just started. They just played it. I was like, no way. It was just so funny. And then it kind of continues because, like I said, I play the drums, sometimes to great success and sometimes to Everett, please shut up. But
Yeah.
depends on the day. And,
Okay.
something with drums is that you don't really recognize the songs. And that's just kind of how it works, You could play a beat that is, you could play it note for note exactly how they played it, and you just wouldn't recognize it because that's just, drumming isn't about super unique. It's about setting the backbone for everything else. And I was screwing around with the da 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 doing that. And I come back upstairs and my mom was like, was that My Sharona by the Neck? And I was like, yeah. It was like a moment where I was like, yes, I did it. So
It's one of the
that's
greatest
what
drum intros of all time.
oh yeah. Like
it is one of
not
my top 5 favorite guitar pieces of all time.
Mhm.
the next does.
Oh, you're wrong.
That song specifically. I love the
Oh.
guitar in My Sharona, the solo
Yes.
section.
Yeah.
So
Good song.
that's gonna be my number one.
Beautiful number one. So far,
Thank
you win for number one.
Oh yeah. Take that, Jeff,
See-
with
Yeah, got a story. I got a story for you.
Billy Nelson.
See, I've always said that like the beer Corona missed an opportunity marketing with that song.
yeah, my Corona. I feel like that's
I know other people have done things with that, but yeah, it's like anyway, we won't go there. Alex, you're next. Number one. Wow, it's
Weird Al literally has on his X,
Wow.
the artist formerly known as Twitter, sorry, not gonna do my Corona. He's literally said he's not doing that.
Well, he's already done one, so.
But of course, I think he's more talking about coronavirus, which isn't.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was torn on this one because I had 2 that I could have gone with on
You're
this
doing
one.
Natalie and Bruglia?
What?
What? Never mind.
Anyways, yeah, that one went right over my head.
Torn is a song by Natalie and Bruglia.
I've never even heard of who that is.
Well, she was number one in radio. With that,
I hear Bruglia and I think I'm ordering something from an Italian restaurant's menu that I can't afford
you probably could do that and listen to that song.
after eating bruschetta.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll choose Walkie Talkie Man by Stereogram.
Oh.
Different out there song, not one of the most popular. This goes back to my love of video game soundtracks, especially the
Okay.
sports genre. And this goes back, I forget which baseball one it was. It had to have been in the mid 2000s though. And I just remember hearing that opening guitar riff. And it is very hard not to be caught on this song just based off of that alone. It's got a unique sound. It's got a little bit of that pop punk sound of that era. Reminds you a lot of your Sum 41s, your whatever, to kind of build into that. Not the same sound, but in the same grouping you could put them in and it wouldn't be remiss. So fun music video if you get a chance to watch that one, because it's basically all done out of yarn and shit.
Oh, cool.
So as a kid, to look up the song, you had to watch the video, and I was always hooked on it for that too. Short song, but man, is it a fun one, and it's a jammer. So Walkie Talkie Man by Stereogram.
Cool. So my number one, and it is a song that is the most angry song that this artist ever wrote. And for some reason, it speaks to me, not at the level of why he wrote it himself, but certainly to how you sometimes need to be in the world today or yesteryear, or, you know. This is also one of the greatest drum fills of all time. The only person who can do those kind of drum fills, well, his name starts with Phil. His last name is Collins.
There we go. I knew it.
All right.
I knew it.
And it's I Don't Care Anymore.
Mhm.
And you can tell everyone I'm a down disgrace, drag my name all over the place. And it is, and there's not much else going on in this song other than that drum fill and a guitar lick. It's simply astonishing. People know it when it comes right on. You would have thought that In the Air Tonight would have been enough, but no, not for Phil. He's gonna make it even darker and angrier and make it fit. And that is my number one song that I can never live. I put that on when I just I don't care anymore. Right? Just
Mark's done.
right?
He's done with us.
I'm gonna put it on after this freaking video we just did. No,
Tired
Mark
of
went
us,
through
guys.
a whole Phil. You had a whole Phil phase.
hey,
We
listen,
listened to Phil for years.
Was it just a phase?
Oh.
hey, I am not alone because he was the greatest selling the greatest selling artist of the 80s, bar none, no one even close. He wrote every song he wrote turned into a hit. Even songs people say they didn't like, they listened the hell out of it and they bought it.
So they can shut up.
Yeah, that's right. Big shut up.
Stick it to the man.
Yeah.
So yes, I do love Phil Collins. He's one of my favorite solo artists of all time. No question. Some of it's relevant today. Some of it's not. You know, I don't think Susu Studio is going to make a comeback, but I don't care anymore is going to last.
Can we
forever.
make that Sue's new nickname?
I know. I think he
couldn't-
wrote it about me.
Yeah, well, actually, with
Pretty
Snoop Dogg,
sure.
It's actually a fun, good song too. That's another one that
It
could have made
is.
this list.
he loved the horns section. He just loved it. He loved that sound.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Well, I am definitely thanking the panelists for tonight. This was a lot of fun. For the Grateful Dude for thinking of this as a topic. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're getting closer to Christmas. We will be doing the favorite 5 Christmas songs. I will not be putting my 5 favorite Christmas songs. I'll be doing the opposite. I'm going to be putting out my 5 Christmas songs that are intolerable.
Because
So-
Mark's a Scrooge, folks.
It's not because I'm a
Mark's
Scrooge, it's because
Scrooge.
they just plain
His
suck.
heart might grow so big if he got
This
gets
year,
happy.
I'm down a size and a half, and I'll keep it all. So
I'm arguing that one.
I will
Alex, be nice.
look out for tomorrow's episode for album review Saturday. I am going to be reviewing Peter Gabriel's new I.O. And I'm telling you, it's a groundbreaking record. It is utterly fantastic on all accounts, not only on one version in edit called Bright Side, but he also has a dark side version mixed completely different. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. If I would love the panelists to join to hear their comments, because we are not going to be able to do this for Album Listen Challenge by the end of the year. And I'm telling you, this is better than so. There's not even a question how good this record is. So on that note, as always, thank you for watching and happy listening.